Hi, welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. So I've already pre-shuffled the cards, called in the appropriate protection, and we're ready to get right into it. Find out what's in your energy, what's occurring for you, what insight, guidance is here for you, okay? And so I see that at this time, for many of you, it's about setting your intentions. Setting your intentions, getting clear about them. Anything else? And then taking the action steps. So I get this energy that many of you, intentions here, right? Many of you are in a state of rest. If you're not, then being at a state of rest where you can go within, take time to self. Reflect on this self-mastery and how far you've come. Now that you've come this far in your journey, you've received more enlightenment. It's like you're in a new phase. So what are your intentions for this phase? Are you getting clear about them? Because it's like the more clear you are about the intentions that you're setting, about the seeds that you're planting, the easier it is for your garden to be planned out, or for your journey of self-mastery to move into the next level, for you to actually accomplish the intentions, the goals that you're setting. Okay? And then we have the Eastern Cottonwood that also came out for you. And the Eastern Cottonwood is about your connections. So some of you have taken time with self. You're now more aware of yourself. You're now more aware of your spiritual journey. For many of you, you're now more aware of the gifts that you hold within. You're also aware that you are a gift. For many of you, your presence is a gift. Your energy, connecting with you, is a gift. Many of you are also recognizing the value there is in connecting with others. Yes, you're able to master self, and that is a very vital key, a first step, if you will, the first intention that many of you have set. Now that you've done the self-mastery work, you've gone within, you found your inner treasures, you know your skills and your abilities, you know that you're on this journey of self-discovery. Now you enter into a new phase. This new phase is about your connections, how you connect with others, the intentions that you're setting to connect with others. And so it's like, what do you want to see when it comes to your connections? Whatever these connections may be. This could be in family. This could be, what do you have for this message, please? This could be in family. This could be in friendships, platonic. This could be in romantic relationships. This could be in business. How do you want to see things progressing? What are the intentions that you're setting? It's time to get calm within self. Peaceful regulation here. Calming the waters, right? Also, being able to calm yourself when you're connecting with others. So for like some of you, if you're not seeing eye to eye with someone on specific points of view, perspectives, perceptions, it's like it is okay to agree to disagree. They have their journey, you have yours. You can still stay calm and not let it get you all in a tizzy. I just heard get your panties in a bunch or your boxers in a bunch. Take it as it resonates, right? But it's also about the more you're able to stay calm whenever there is a conflict that arises or whenever you're in disagreement with someone, it's like being able to have a level head can allow you to facilitate a more peaceful vibration within the conflict, even if at the end of it, the resolution is to agree to disagree. This is what is going to allow you to release any constraints. It's like you don't have to prove anyone. Well, you don't have to prove anything to anyone. You don't have to prove yourself to anyone. You can state your truth, and if someone resonates with it, great. If they don't, release it, let it go, and continue to go with the flow. This is also going to allow you to heal your heart, because you're not holding things in your heart when you disagree with someone. You may be at a job, and I'm just getting this example. It's just an example. But for some of you, you may be at a job, right? And you may not agree with the higher ups, management, meaning the CEO, CO, whomever. Or put the shoe how it fits, wear the hat. Maybe you are the CEO, entrepreneur, owner of the business, right? And some don't agree with your modus operandi, the way that you go about doing things, right? For others of you, you're in a job, or you're this person, and maybe you don't agree with management, right? You don't agree with how they handle certain things. How do you come to a peaceful resolution in this circumstance? Because you could just go to management and be like, y'all always effing shit up. That's why this is going this way, that way, this way, that way. You could be conniving and go over their head and not even talk to them. And for some of you, that may be the peaceful resolution. Sometimes you brought a thing up to a manager, and the next thing to do is to go over their head. The thing to do, though, is to be peaceful in it. I'm not saying this is what you should do, but maybe it is for some of you. The thing of it is that when you're going over their head, are you doing it out of spite, or are you doing it in a place, in an essence of actually seeking peaceful resolution? Okay? And if the shoe's on the other foot, or the cap fits you and you're the CEO, manager, entrepreneur, owner, whatever it is, are you seeking peaceful resolution, or are you like, yo, this my business, I own this, you gonna do it this way or you're out the door? The way you go about things, the energy you give out is what comes back to you, even in business. You see, even as the owner, operator, entrepreneur, you can't do it all by yourself. So that's one of the reasons you hired employees, right? Or if you're recently in a management position, are you getting the big head because you're the boss? Don't forget, as a boss, you have a boss that's over you called the owner if you're the manager. Take it as it resonates. You know where I'm going with all of these scenarios. The point is to find the peaceful resolution, to regulate self peacefully, so that you're not harboring any resentment in your heart. Okay? Because the more you're harboring any resentment, the more you call forth that energy, so that more people that find reasons to resent a certain situation, and then the energy's all off in the environment. Okay? It is going to take some nurturing, some compassion. Can you see the other person's point of view, even if you disagree with it? And this is not always an easy task. This is where growth comes in. This is where self-discipline comes in. This is where peaceful self-regulation comes in. This is a part of the self-mastery and the journey to discovery. If the shoe was on the other foot and the cap did fit, how would you want someone to come at you if they had an situation with you? Would you want them to just write you off the schedule and not communicate with you that they're writing you off the schedule? Because some managers will do this. They feel like they have the authority, so they'll show you, not recognizing that that's playing with your money and you have things to take care of as well. And that same energy could be returned to them because you are a manager. So don't forget you have a boss. What if they did the same thing to you? Or you as an owner, your money then gets slowed down because you're not reciprocating an energy of peaceful resolution. I didn't say you had to agree. I said move in the energy of a peaceful resolution. Or you could just choose to pop off and then somebody might pop you. You know, you take it as it resonates. For every cause, there is an effect. Okay? But how can we move in an energy where it's healing for both parties, where there is some compassion and some nurturing brought into the situation? You may decide after staying peaceful that atmosphere, that place, that job, that relationship is not for you, and that they're doing you a favor by writing you off the schedule. You take it as it resonates. Or you as an owner might decide to see your employee's point of view and say, you know what, thank you. Maybe we will implement doing it this way this time. Okay? You just have to weigh the pros and cons and see why this is arising, because it's there for you to learn something, right? Whether you're learning to implement a new way of going about your business, or whether you're learning that atmosphere, that relationship, that whatever is not energetically in alignment with you. And then that allows you to more know self and then what is more in alignment for you, okay? So what do we have for this message? What do you have for this message, please? Thank you. In the essence of choosing a peaceful resolution, don't make decisions out of fear. You fear that they're talking behind your back, whether you're the employee or the entrepreneur. You fear that they're talking behind your back. You fear that they're about to let you go anyway. Can you still choose love over fear? It's not always an easy task to choose love over fear. Fear is the false evidence appearing real. You've already got 30,000 thoughts about what's going on, but yet you haven't communicated anything to anyone. How do you go about choosing love over fear? Because, like I said, it's not always an easy thing. Are you going to be able to choose love over fear? To be able to see beyond your current situation and allow healing to come into that situation? We have the medicine guardian here and the seer, right? So some of you, I just heard, some of you do see things coming. You saw it coming. You're not in your head and you didn't have the fear of facing it head on, right? But now that you saw the situation coming, how do you still choose love over fear and implementing love and compassion into the situation? Like you knew, it's like you saw it, right? You knew before it actually occurred. And for many of you, especially those of you who are spiritual, you see things, you intuit them before they actually occur. Once it's actually manifested itself, right? How do you still, okay, I got two parts of this. When you were seeing certain things, right? Were you able to stay calm and not get caught up in your head? Because the more you give energy and thoughts to a thing, you could have actually called that forth, right? Now, sometimes you can see certain things being set up. It's like you don't cause and effect, right? You're not adding fuel to the fire, but you can see that there is a spark of something happening in a situation, right? Were you able to stay calm and then allow it to unfold and then move with compassion so that you're able to choose love over fear, okay? Some of us recognize that we weren't always able to do this, and this is a part of the healing information, because now you're able to move forward easier, to make plans and focus. You're also able to see the situation working out in a peaceful way. Whereas before you just would have been like, man, middle finger to this, I'm out. Now you're like, okay, let me see this in a different way, in a way that creates healing, care, compassion. For some of you, this could be something that's coming up. For some of you, this is something that has occurred. For some of you, you saw this in your dream. It's like your dreams give you visions about certain things. It's like you heard the drum beating of things getting off in the distance, of things rumbling underneath the scene, right? And you energetically saw what was to come. As it's coming, many of you are able to make peace with it within yourself. And then you made plans and focused on moving forward in a more peaceful way where you're able to choose love over fear. Not for everyone. Take it as it resonates, okay? Okay, what do you have for this message, please? Thank you. Thank you. Anything else? Anything else? Okay. Alrighty, so in the essence of choosing love over fear, some of you realize that, yeah, you're going to have to start over. You're starting from scratch, and you're okay with that. Because removing yourself from a place, a job, a person, a relationship that's not benefiting you, that's not in alignment with you, allows you now to clear that space, to clear that energy, and start anew, start from scratch. Now creating more what's in alignment for you, okay? Alignment energetically, aligned with your soul's purpose, just in alignment. And many of you are learning that that's the silver lining of it all. They always say, what's the silver lining, or focus on the silver lining. Sometimes the silver lining is saying, yeah, deuces, chucking the deuces, I'm out, right? Peace. And I leave you in peace. I came in peace and I leave you in peace. That's for someone. I came in peace, I leave you in peace. By leaving in peace, starting from scratch, many of you are really going to come into this energy of where life feels like you are dancing with divine. Like you're creating your own new dance move, and everybody gonna be like, yo, you know how to do that Tonae Star? You know how to do that bunny hop? You know how to do the new whatever it is? It's like by you seeing the silver lining in this, you're going to feel that much more ecstatic, that much more in alignment. It's like you're going to wake up with a dance in your heart. You're going to wake up with a smile on your face. It's going to feel like you're actually dancing and enjoying at work. Some of you may be doing that, like implementing. I just saw a big company, right? I just saw a big company. And it's like the CEOs set like an alarm that goes out through the company. And it's your 15 minutes where everybody just gets to dance around the office. And they're doing it because it's time for you to move energy through your body. It's time for you to take a break from whatever it is you're focusing on, get some energy moving, smile again, smile within your body by the movement. And then it lightens the energy in the atmosphere and you can go back to what you were doing. Now, maybe dancing is not your favorite thing, okay? Maybe you got two left feet. It's not about how good you look doing the move. It's just about enjoying the moment, okay? So that's for some of you. Take the time to just enjoy the moments. Even the moments of awareness where you're recognizing, yo, I'm going to have to start from scratch. And this could actually, for some of you, seem like a very daunting task. Like, I've already come this far. Do I really want to start over? Here's the thing, though. You're not starting over without wisdom. Whatever you're doing, it's like you're just doing it in a new way. So for some of you, it's not that you're scrapping the whole thing, like scratching the whole thing out. You're scratching out the aspects of a thing that didn't work for you so that you can clear that energy and then start fresh with the wisdom that you've gained from what didn't work, from what wasn't in alignment. You get it? And look, the divine is like, baby boo, what? I'm at your service. I got your back. Like, what are you tripping for? Because you got to start it a little bit. You got to, so some of you, I just heard, some of you may feel like you've taken 2 or 3 steps forward and now starting from scratch is making you feel like you're taking a step back or 2 steps back. But here's the thing with that taking a step back. It's like it's that much more easier because you're guided now. The divine is there at your service. You can ask to now have the clarity about this next step. And I got for many of you with the divine having your back and being at your service, you took 2 or 3 little baby steps, maybe had to get pushed back 2 or 3 steps. But this next one, from scratch, seeing the silver lining with the divine having your back, baby, this is like a leap. It's like I'm seeing the Fool card where you're leaping off a cliff. Before you were taking on a little path, just moving along, you know, it's a sunny day, and you're on the path. And then all of a sudden you had to step back a little bit. A little breeze came through, a big wind came through, push you back a little bit. But now I see this wind. I just heard the wind beneath your wings. I see this wind lifting you up and like placing you 10 steps ahead. So it's like a big leap of faith. It's like a leap into the next phase. So where you thought you were going backwards, it's like the silver lining is that the divine is there and they're giving you, I just saw like somebody doing a long jump. You know how they running, and then they take this long jump? It's like when you take that next step, there's going to be a wind that lifts you off your feet. And baby, that's confirmation. You're going to be like 10 steps ahead of the game. Okay? So continue to choose love over fear. Know that the divine has your back at your service. Ask for what you need. I just heard ask for what you need. Yeah, ask for what you need. As you're starting over, starting from scratch. But I'm like I said, this isn't like scrapping the whole thing. This is like taking what wasn't working and then starting fresh with things that are working now, things that are in alignment, okay? What do you have for this message, please? What do you have for this message? Something about some of you being connected to Divine Mother energy as well. It's like the Divine Mothers have seen that some of you have had to take steps back, and they're assisting you with releasing certain constraints. Some of these constraints are allowing you to heal your heart and tap into the power of self-love. So it's like the Divine Mothers are, I just saw like a big circle of love. Like they're surrounding you with a circle of love. That's beautiful. What do you have for this message? Anything? What do you have for this message? This deck been real quiet lately. Thank you. Yeah, sometimes, I don't know. Okay. Good. Okay, so we have the Laguz rune and the Perthro rune and the Lagaz rune. So, the Lagaz rune is about your emotions. It's about water. Water is connected to our emotions. Some of you may find solitude in being near water at this time. It could help you with getting these ideas that's coming forth for you, for those of you who are starting from scratch. There's something about doing your meditation near water, or just being around water when you're, some of you are going to be finding ways to clean up the water. Some of you are finding new inventions, like things that we're going to be doing. So it's like you're scratching old ways that we cleanse the water for some of you, whether this is emotional water or actual physical water. For some of you, I'm seeing the physical water. I'm seeing ocean. I'm seeing seas. But I'm also seeing like, where was that place? Like Flint, Michigan. Some of you are going to create something that actually cleanses the water, cleanses fluoride from the water, cleanses chlorine from the water. There's something big about the water, especially with this Laguz rune here. If you look at it, there's a big waterfall that's there. And all life depends on water, like literally, physically, spiritually. We are considered to be like 70% water, right? And then you can go longer without eating than you can without drinking fresh water. Okay? We need water for every aspect of our life. Taking a shower, cooking your food, cleaning your dishes. So water, right? Water also represents our emotions and how they flow, right? And then there's like the universal representation of water, like the universal ocean, which represents the supreme unity of all life, past, present, and future, because no matter what point in time you were here on earth, water was still here. Past, present, and future, okay? And so there's something very big about the water. With the Laguz being here, it's more about the flow of change. So some of you, as I said, you felt like you took 2 steps back. You felt like you may have been swimming against the current, right? You felt like you were going down a waterfall and you had no control. But if you look at this waterfall, you can see that there is still a safe landing, and you can crawl to the shore and still relax, right? So some of you have learned to get your emotions under control, and that's helped you with peaceful regulation, peaceful self-regulation. That's helped you to stay calm in certain situations instead of popping off on people. And in certain situations, I also just heard, instead of getting your lick back, I don't know where that came from, but that's like, whatever, take it as it resonates. That's for somebody out there. Something about getting your lick back. I feel like a kid saying that, right? But instead of feeling the need to retaliate, instead of feeling the need to react, you're able to stay peaceful and respond, okay? Now, the Pathro rune is very significant. It's significant in the fact that it's about the larger wisdom. It's about the matrix of it all. It's about universal law. It's about cause and effect. It encompasses the fixed and the unaltered law of the universe. It encompasses the divine wisdom. If you look at this book that's in front of her, it's like it's sprinkled, right, with glittery wisdom, ethereal essence, energy. So it's representing the wisdom that many of you have. It's representing the divine connection to wisdom. It's representing the wisdom that's coming forth for many of you from the divine mothers in a way that's very nurturing, a way that's very caring, a way that's very compassionate, a way that resonates with you and how you receive the wisdom. Because we all learn in different ways. So for some of you, through your intuition is how you get messages more easily. For some of you, reading something. For some of you, you touch something and you can feel it in your body. All that to say that there is wisdom that many of you are gaining. This wisdom is about self-mastery. This wisdom is about how to peacefully self-regulate, how to peacefully seek resolution and solutions. Because resolution is one thing, but solution is another thing. I'm going to give you the difference to that in a moment. Receiving the wisdom of when it's time to start fresh with a certain project, with people, with things, with how you do things. And being okay with seeing the silver lining, the good that comes from that. The wisdom that the divine has your back. The wisdom that you're connected. The wisdom that as you set your intentions, you can actually sow those seeds and reap the harvest of exactly what you're setting intentions for. As long as you're clear on it. And it's for your highest evolving. Because sometimes we ask for a thing and it's like a child. It's not everything your child asks for that they're supposed to get, because you know sometimes what's better for them. They may want to touch the stove and you know that they're not aware of what could happen if they touch the stove. So you would tell them no. Sometimes your no is just you being directed to what is good for you. And confirmation. And there's a wisdom in that as well. Okay? So, resolution. Resolution is a firm decision to do or not do something. Okay? That's resolution. But solution is a means to solving a problem or dealing with a difficult situation. Okay? So when you're having peaceful solutions, you're solving the problem in a peaceful way, in a way that could be nurturing, caring, compassionate. Doesn't mean you have to agree with it, because you still may say no. But can you say no in a way that's peaceful? Because no is a complete sentence all on its own. And so, yes, you can be firm, you can agree to disagree, but you ain't got to be an asshole about it. Point blank, period. Okay? And then resolution is just you making the decision to say, you know what? I'm not going to be an asshole about it. I'm just going to choose to be peaceful in this situation. Okay? Take that as it resonates. Resolution is you making a firm decision to do something or to not do something. A solution is you actually seeking and is you actually seeking a means of solving the problem, of dealing with a difficult situation. Okay? So that's resolution and solution. What do you have for this message, please? Anything else? Okay, no. Bottom of the deck, we have vigilance. So, not being hyper vigilant to you're in fear that everybody's out to get you, or that it's not going to work out, or hyper vigilant because you got to start over and it's like, oh, what did I do wrong? But vigilance is being aware of what has occurred, aware in your resolution in the situation. What are you choosing? Being vigilant about the solution as well. Are you choosing a peaceful resolution, or are you just choosing to be a dickhead? I mean, an asshole. Well, you know what I meant. Okay. So, vigilance about your energy as well. What are you putting out? Because the only thing you can control is the way you respond and the way you react. Because you don't have to react, you can respond. But you can't control how another person reacts or responds. But there is a cause and effect. So however you give off energy, if you come off like an asshole, that person may want to pop off as an asshole. Sometimes you may be in a peaceful state and they still might be an asshole. Either way, you can only control self. Okay? Yeah. Okay. So, solitude is here. Solitude is about not blocking people off, not being, and this is where hypervigilant comes in, where you're just like, oh, I'm not dealing with people because they always come in with something, and you become hypervigilant, or this always goes wrong. Solitude is about choosing the resolution. You're resolving to take time in solitude so that you can connect with self. You're resolving to take time in solitude so that you're able to set intentions that actually resonate with you, that are actually in alignment with you. You're choosing to take solitude so that you can tap into the power of self-love, the power of healing your heart, the power of compassion. You're choosing, resolved to take solitude, to enable yourself, to allow yourself to release constraints, to receive divine wisdom. Solitude, for many of you, especially when this comes out, could be very, very beneficial. There are times where we get so caught up with the day-to-day. I gotta go here, I gotta take the kids here, I gotta do that, I gotta make a video, I gotta edit, I gotta do this, and the list never ends. There's always a to-do list, something to do, right? But when do you resolve, make a firm decision that you're going to set aside solitude for self, even if you have to go about putting this on a schedule? You know, we have alarms for everything else. You got an alarm to get up in the morning. You got an alarm to pick up the kids. You got an alarm to clean up. You got an alarm to post a video. Do you have an alarm to take solitude to self and just take a minute to breathe? Solitude to take time to meditate? Have you scheduled those type of things for yourself? Even taking time in solitude where you can seek divine wisdom. And this may be through studying something or even watching a video if necessary, because we do have YouTube University. And sometimes watching a video is one of the quickest or easiest ways to get that wisdom. But for many of you, this is without a device. This is just simply taking time into nature. You see the solitude? This is taking time to touch earth. Whether it be scheduled at night, because for some of you it may be the night energy, or once the kids are at rest, that you just take a minute of solitude to connect with universal wisdom. Okay? For some of you, when you take this time, and I get even at night, it's where you're going to tap into this immortal treasure that's within you. Because you're being resolved, making a resolution, a firm decision to take time for self. During this time of solitude, many of you will be able to reflect. Do you notice that both of these images happen to be at night or in a not so well lit place? I get this energy that it's also about going within, going and reflecting on the darker aspects of self. Because there's nothing wrong. It's like light and dark are just energies, right? It's what you do with it. So some people take the dark and they amplify it to the max. And they decide on dark energy, dark magic, dark whatever. That's one aspect of dark. But dark is also where things are created. Where, think about a seed. It's where it goes into, like, not hibernation, but it's like that's where you can take time to self. And then it makes it that much more easier for you to facilitate when you're in the light. You're balancing things out. The dark is an energy of where you're able to be receptive, to receive the nutrients from Mother Earth, to receive the divine wisdom, downloads, light codes, insight. It's where you're able to reflect, right? And then you balance that out with your light. With the wisdom that you receive, you're then able to come into the light and take action. Light is about action. The sun lights up things. It's a more masculine aspect. The moon is dark. It's more receptive. That's the concept I get when I think light and dark. But there still needs to be a balance of both, right? So many of you are recognizing when it's time to go into solitude, when it's time to connect with your emotions, when it's time to connect with your intuition, to be receptive, to go into the dark. Inner journey is what I'm getting there. This is that time where it's creation. This is the time where you're able to breach. You see, under the water, the well goes deep, down, dark, right? There's some aspects of the ocean where the sunlight doesn't really even hit. That's how dark it is. But there's still things that are being created there. And so for some of you, this time of solitude allows you to go into this time of creation. And it may feel dark there. It may feel alone there. But then you're able to breach the surface, come back up with new ideas, new energy, fresh, not so much even new, fresh, I'm hearing. Fresh creations, innovations, creations and innovations. For some of you, this also happens in your dream state. When your eyes are closed, when you're meditating with your eyes closed, because there are different forms of meditation, but there's something about when your eyes are closed. There's something about when all the light is out. Some of you, that's your creation time. Whether it's when you're dreaming, whether it's you stepping out at night and just connecting with the earth energy. And then you take that wisdom that's gained in the dream state, in the dark, in the solitude. You breach the surface, coming back into the light to share that wisdom, to take action on that wisdom, to impart and to inspire from that wisdom that you've received, okay? Now, what do we have for this message, please? Again, what do you have for this message? Almost. And here we go. What do you have for this message? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Anything else? I feel like this one and I feel like those. Okay. So the one that came out was transmutation. Again, with that time of solitude, when the phoenix is burned as ashes, it's dark. It's in solitude. Ashes usually tend to be dark in nature, right? But then there's this alchemy that happens where you're able to breach and come back together with the wisdom, with the insight, with the clarity, with the guidance. And then you gain stability. Red, root chakra, I'm seeing. And as you gain that stability, you turn into this beautiful phoenix because your passions are ignited from what you received in the dark, what you received in the solitude, what you received in the dream state, what you received when it felt like everything was burnt down around you, including you. The alchemy happens in the solitude, right? And then after you alchemize that energy, you gain your foundation, you ignite those passions, you spread your wings and you fly. And as you fly like a phoenix, there's a light that's emitted from you. That's where you're taking the action of allowing your wings to spread, the wisdom you've received, the light you're shining. That's where the transmutation happens. So there's a balance that happens from the solitude to the light. You can't always be taking action, always in the light. There's a time where you stop, you get quiet, you go within, you go into the solitude and allow the alchemy, allow the transmutation process to occur. And we see that in all aspects of life. The most common one we recognize is the butterfly. It goes into the cocoon. It's dark in there. And then it breaches the surface. It comes out of the cocoon, transformed with wings to fly. Some of you are like that, but you're more like a phoenix because you got to do it big. You got to burn it all down sometimes. Just to go back to show off your pretty wings and your feathers. That's for some of you. Take it as it resonates, okay? But yeah, and then transformation came out as well. And miracles, right? So it's a miracle, the things that happen in the dark, in the solitude, in the transmutation and the transformation, death and rebirth, right? It's a miracle if you think about that. A butterfly goes in to a little cocoon as a little worm, and then it comes out 2-3 times its size with big beautiful colors. Whether it's a orange in color, it has blue or purple or black and yellow. I used to see a lot of black and yellow butterflies, a lot of orange ones too, right? But that's a miracle, that transformation that occurs, the transmutation process, the alchemy of it all. Think about it. A woman having a child, it's a little embryo. And then the embryo splits, and 2 become 4, become 8, become 16, until you got a whole little human with arms and legs and a mind, a heart, and all these organs have to work together. And then think about this. For babies that are born without an arm or a leg, and they still are a miracle of life with how they're able to show the amazingness of the body. Their struggle was a little bit difficult, but they still are able to do things, cook. You've seen people without arms and they still cook. People without arms and they still do everything else in life. And they have a value to life. They didn't give up. They didn't say, woe is me, I don't have arms, and they gave up. They actually enjoy life. That's a miracle in itself. Because you could have felt like you were behind the ball and you could have just gave up. You could have been mad at God, like, why? Oh, that was confirmation. Why? Why me, God? Why? Why was I born without arms? Why was I born without legs? Why was I born in poverty? Why was I born into a family where I'm the black sheep and they don't love me? Why? Why was I'm the one that's not loved when I'm in relationships? You could be mad. You could be mad and you could just give up. Or you can find the miracle in the fact that your soul came to have certain experiences just so it could evolve and grow. That's something to reflect on. And sometimes when you're able to see things from that kind of a perspective, certain things don't seem as big. They don't irritate you as much. You're still able to find the beauty and the joy in life. And then instead of tears of sadness, it's actually tears of joy. So we all have some sort of struggle, right? But if you look around, if you truly look around, I'm sure there's a list of 10 things, just 10, that you could be grateful for, that you could truly say thank you, Most High. Because if you look around, you'll see that there is someone that would gladly change places with you. Now, some won't, because they recognize that even if they weren't born with arms or legs, or they didn't have the most loving relationships, or they didn't have a mother or a father, that all of that came to make them the unique, fabulous, magnificent miracle of a person that they are. And that's what's up. So some of you are recognizing the miracles of life, and you're allowing it to transform you. You're allowing for a deep transformation on a spiritual level to occur for you. Many of you are also learning generosity. This is also for many of you where this message is resonating, where you being generous could greatly benefit you. Now, this isn't being generous because you expect something in return. This is just being generous just because. Just because you recognize the miracle of life, the miracle of this earth, the miracle that we're surrounded by so much water, yet and still we're able to thrive on certain stretches of land where trees produce fruit. Just generous, whether it's with your time, your energy, your love, your wisdom for some of you. Some of you don't teach or do certain things because, well, what am I going to get out of it? Or you'll do a thing because you expect something in return. That's not what this generosity is all about. This is about being generous just for the sake of being generous. And that's not always an easy task. I'm actually being led to read this generosity. If I can find this book. This is from the Sacred Forest Oracle, right? Card number 23. The generosity is where 2 and 3 is 5. The change occurs. When you're giving without just because. It says the maple spirit, right? I feel like with this red, generosity is like what creates a stable foundation. When you're generous with self, it makes you able to be generous with others. It says, beneath the large burrows of the maple tree. Y'all know what, too? You know maple trees give out maple syrup. Have you ever tried natural maple syrup? Not this ancient Jemima syrup that you get in the store that's like refined sugars and stuff like that. That's corn syrup, right? Maple syrup. A tree literally gives us syrup. If you ever looked up the process of maple syrup, it is amazing what trees give and what they do. That is a miracle in and of itself. Okay, but that was a side note. So anyway, it says beneath the large burrows of the maple tree, animals are invited to rest. At any time, you might see a doe and her fawn curled in the midday shade. Squirrels scamper up the trunk and dash from limb to limb. A rabbit stops to sniff the air. Creatures large and small are drawn to the refuge of the maple shade. What you give out comes back to you tenfold. There are times in life to receive, and there are times to provide love, to provide services, and items to others. This energy suggests that this is a time to give with your whole heart. Give without thinking of what you will gain in return. By doing this, you enter into the flow of the universe, and blessings will shower upon you. Maple trees are thought to be a very old species of tree. They are known to withstand environmental changes and can survive and thrive in various climates. And that's like many of you. You've been able to withstand the environmental changes, and you're not just surviving, you're thriving in various situations, climates. Some traditions believe that the maple lends strength and power to those around it. If you tap into a maple, you will find a sweet sap. That sweet sap is called maple syrup, y'all, which symbolically brings sweetness into your life. The spirit of the maple says, be open to receive the bounty of the universe at this time. Be generous with others and with yourself. A warm spirit radiates from you. Share from your heart and receive with an open heart, and success will bloom. So for those of you who are starting from scratch, the silver lining is you being generous, and then generosity will be given back to you. And it may not be in the form of monetary Confirmation for some of you. It may not be in the form of monetary gifts. It may be in the form of someone just being kind to you, someone gifting you something that you needed in another area of life, in whatever way, shape, or form, okay? Generosity doesn't always come back in the same form. It can come in a multitude of more abundant, prosperous ways. It's not just about money. Okay, that's what I'm getting with that. What do you have for this message, please? What do you have for this message? Anything else? Okay. Excuse me. So we have peace, and we have grounding, and we have determination, baby. So by you getting grounded, even if you're starting from scratch, you're grounding in choosing love over fear. You're grounding in taking time in solitude again with this nighttime here. That's where the creation, the concepts, the wisdom comes forward. This is where you take root, right? Where those things can be rooted and grounded. So then you're able to, with determination, move forward with an energy of peace. Confident, because you took the time to ground it. You took the time to get peaceful within self, that no matter what happens, you're still going to be at peace. Because sometimes a no, or feeling like something is a setback, how do they say a setback is simply a setup for something greater? A no simply means not, what is it? Not now? No. What is it? Another opportunity? What is it? They used to say something I used to hear. No is new opportunity or something like that. I don't remember, but it may just mean not right now. Or not in that direction, not in that way. You're being redirected to a better way, a way that'll allow you to be more generous with yourself and with others. Okay? What do you have for this message? Anything else? Thank you. So we have restoration with honoring, restoration with feathers, honoring with altar, and upper world with the future. So, even though many of you felt like things burned down to the ground, felt like you're starting from scratch, this is just where things are being restored. It's being restored to a place of equilibrium where you're going to have a soft landing. It's like, had you continued on that path, whether this path be at a job, in a relationship, in the way you were thinking for some of you, in the actions you were taking, it would have been that much more difficult. With restoration and feathers here, confirmation, this is about a soft landing, being directed in a more nurturing, compassionate way. Instead of the divine having to force you, or you having to force yourself to do something, it's now going to be as soft as a feather, right? Feathers are very soft. You ever had a goose down pillow or a goose down comforter? They feel so lovely on the bed. Some of y'all going to be restoring your house and putting softer carpets, softer pillows, things that make you feel like you're being generous to yourself, things that make you feel peaceful and at peace in your space. But this is definitely about spiritually, the divine giving you like a down pillow to land on. You thought it was going to be harder than it was. You thought you went back 2 or 3 steps. You thought you got burned down, but it was like the wind beneath your wings. Again, the feathers being redirected to a softer way. I just heard soft life for someone. Some of you felt like you had your life so hard that now you're coming into a cycle of where It's gonna feel like a soft life. And this literally may take some getting used to for some of you, because you're used to pushing your way through. You're used to having to have determination to get things done, and you still have the determination, but it's like you're not, the silver lining is that you're not going to have to force it. It's just going to go flow easy, like a nice breeze of air. Okay? And as this is occurring, this soft landing and restoration is happening for many of you because of your ancestors, the Most High, because of your connection. So don't forget to honor that in whatever way, shape, or form that is for you. If you have an altar, put out an offering. If it's through your praise, honey, get your praise up. When they say that, what does it say? When the praise goes up, the blessings come down. Get your praise on. Whether it's a praise dance, a praise song, whether it's just clapping it up with the divine, I don't know. However, you honor with your soul, however you honor as a soul to the higher wisdom and intelligence that you're connected to, honor that. Put some respect on that. Basically, don't take it lightly. Okay? And if that's not for everyone, then it's not for you. Some of you will say you don't believe in the Most High, your choice. You don't believe in ancestors, your choice. But there is a wisdom outside of you, a higher intelligence. You don't know everything. I don't care how scientific you are. How do you honor that? Don't take it lightly, okay? And then we have the upper world. So many of you are connecting with, like I said, higher intelligence. For some of you, the actions that you're taking in the present moment is creating a future world, a world where the actions you're taking right now in the present moment, by connecting to higher intelligence, by connecting to the upper realms, the upper world, right? The cosmos. This is allowing for these present moments to set future actions. Actions where there's more generosity, actions where there is positive transformation, positive transmutation. A future where, that's not it. There is, what you look for? I want to read that one because I feel led to today. I don't know if I can find it. I don't know. Let me see. Either way, the upper world is about connecting with higher intelligence. It is about the bigger wisdom, universal wisdom is what I'm getting. Upper world welcomes you to the ethereal realms of spirit. And many of you are being welcomed into these ethereal realms. Remember, you had this divine wisdom that was coming forth from you. For many of you, you're connected with divine mother energy in the ethereal realms, right? But for others of you, this is the place, the dwelling place, the star nation of the gods, the goddesses, and the spirit guides, right? And so the upper world bends its branches. This is like a tree for you to climb onto and up through the world tree. So there's something about the world tree, as above, so below, right? And here you will obtain philosophical advice, guidance from sentient spirits who are waiting to assist you to cement a more positive outcome. Turn to the upper world for spiritual guidance. that the guidance that is of a higher vibration than that of the middle world or that of the lower world. It is not better wisdom, it's just a different medicine to draw from. And when it's needed, the upper world wisdom, especially when you're making plans for the future, comes forth for you. The upper world is waiting to reveal the heights of your essential nature, to awaken your full purpose, and to raise you into potential. This upper world energy is calling many of you to work with spirit to bring about healing in the earthly realm. The upper world, the middle, and the lower worlds of the tree of life are fully connected and fully equal. One cannot exist without the other. So transversing between each world will take you closer to being in unity with the Great Spirit. And right now, many of you are connecting with Great Spirit energy, spirit teams, spirit guides, higher intelligence. Okay? And I think that's our message. Let's see if this has anything. I'm going to grab some crystals. What do you have for this message? What do you have for this message? Last time. What do you have for this message? Yeah, I thought so. I heard not to take that one. I heard not to take this one either, but let's just see. What do you have for this message? Okay. I knew it. I knew it. I wanted to pull this deck even though I heard it because I wanted to see if this card would come out. This sexual arts card. Man, this card be coming out on a regular. Let me tell you why I have... Okay, this was... Okay, all right, let's do it. Let's get into it. This video getting long, though. It's already 1 hour and 11 minutes. Real quick. Many of you don't recognize that sexuality and sex is an art form. It is. But it's also something that's not meant to be taken lightly. And today in society, it's taken very lightly. But every time you have sex with someone, you create an ethereal cord. That's why, and I was going to do a whole video on camera about this. This was going to be a podcast, but I'm going to touch on it now. Why do you think we as spiritual people and spiritual practitioners, you hear people talk about cord cutting? What cord do you think you're cutting? More likely than not, with how freely we are so promiscuous in society today, you're cutting energetic sexual cords with other people. So yes, sex feels good. Yes, we create through sex. That's how we all each are born. Yes, there is a way to raise your kundalini energy through sex. All of this is a positive and it is true. But just like there is a positive, there's also a flip side to that coin. Just like there's a light, the light of enjoying sex, what happens in the dark? Well, in the dark, cords are created. Cords that now tie you energetically to people. People who may be unhealed. People who have toxic energy. And why? Because they're now having sex with other people. One night stands. You slept with somebody one time and you're connected to them for at least 12 years from one sexual encounter. These are the things they're not teaching us in school. What happens sexually, energetically? Think about it for a minute. Why is sex pushed so much? Whenever there's an agenda that they don't want you to know about, they push it through stars, through media. Why is it that sex sells? You ever thought about this thing? Because spiritually, that's why most people can't get a marriage together. That's why monogamous seems boring. That's why that ex keeps coming back. That's why after you've had sex with someone, you can think of them and then they'll call you or they'll text you. You got an energetic cord connected to that person. And then you think you're going to create a marriage, but you still got all of these other men or women connected to you. Why do you think they promote orgies? Let's look at it. Let's look at it. Why do you think in cultures where the woman is a virgin, and sometimes even the man, because people don't like to talk about that, they always want the woman to be the virgin, but they never talk about men actually being a virgin until they get married. Ooh, don't go there, Tonae. But there's something to be said if you look at cultures where there's less sexual activity before marriage. Look at the society, look at the communities where sex is just handed out like hotcakes. How many marriages are there and thriving? Because you can get marriage, but how many are staying and thriving? Now, some of you may say marriage is not something you want. Have you ever really thought about why, though? Look at the cultures where there's less sex before marriage, where there's like arranged marriages and things. And I'm not advocating arranged marriages. I'm simply making the statement that that one person being with that other person, the cord is that much stronger. They can establish a foundation for their children that benefits their children and benefits them energetically. See, we forget about the spiritual side of things when we think only about the physical. Ooh, it feels so good. Busting that nut, getting that orgasm, it do. For what, all of 5 minutes? If you're real good at it, maybe an hour or two. But then what happens energetically? Why do you think some of you have spiritual spouses or spouses in the spirit realm? Because there's somebody you've been getting it in with over and over. Girl, that's just my booty call. Girl, he be putting it down. Why you can feel when they're having sex with somebody else? Because you're tied to this person. All right, I touched on that. I wasn't necessarily going there, but we're there. You think you're just having sex, but really you're selling yourself out spiritually. And I know that's not a fun topic to talk about because we like the physical, but what are you doing spiritually? All right. That's not for everybody. Take it as it resonates. I'm not trying to force any beliefs on anybody. It is what it is. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave it for who it is. It's a big table. You could take this little portion over here, or you can receive all of the message. You feel me? No forcing. We don't do that. Do I go deeper? Let's find out. Why is this sexual? Why is sexual arts here? Because I already feel like I delivered the message. But could you tell me about sexual arts, please? Clarify this for the collective. Why is sexual arts here? All right. Point blank period. Ace of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. The divine is giving us a new opportunity to become aware about our partnerships. Two of Cups. And about how love is given when it comes to choosing lovers for life and partners. Okay, I'm going to stop right there. Can you stand your ground? Even if you have to move a little bit slower. Okay. I ain't going to go from the bottom of the deck. Let's find out what we got here. You see what came out sideways? The Four of Wands. It's because it's creating an imbalance when it comes to the family, when it comes to the structure of the family energetically. Don't be looking at just the physical. Energetically, what is occurring? And then we had the Hierophant between marriages, between these contracts, because when you have sex with somebody, sexual arts, right? Sideways, Four of Wands. Are you actually stable? Are you creating something that's stable? Is this going to be a stable organization, business, contract between the two of you? Are you honoring yourself and the Most High? Are you honoring your home, which is your body, your temple? We talk about it like it's nothing. Oh, sex is just sex, like eating a slice of pizza. Oh, I'm going to have some sex today. I'm going to have a slice of pizza today. Oh, I'm going to have some grapes today. Oh, I think I'm going to just go bust a nut today. Girl, I need to get it in. I need to wipe these cobwebs away. Well, you wiped away the cobwebs physically, but baby, you connected a whole spider web and energetically tying you up spiritually. Take it as it resonates. This is not for everybody. This is you selling yourself out. When it comes to partnerships, when it comes to how things are began, when it comes to who you choosing as partners and how you moving, when it comes to your legacy, your ultimate happiness, and the person that's emotionally stable and able to love you, how we move forward with goodness, creating legacy. Last one. Tell me about this selling out, please. I didn't expect this message to go here, but here we go. That's why I heard don't pick that deck up unless you're ready. Selling out, please. Clarify selling out for me. Why is this energy of selling out here, please? What does the collective need to know? Clarify selling out. I'm going to do it one more time. Is there anything else? Clarify selling out. Thank you. Anything else? All right. And again, that Lovers is on the bottom of the deck. Are you selling yourself out with the choices that you make when it comes to partners, when it comes to lovers? And then we had the Seven of Wands come out on the fence and the Hangman. Are you seeking enlightenment about, is this a good thing for you? Or are you blocking the wisdom that's coming forth from you? Are you blocking the enlightenment about sex, about partnerships, about the cords that are created? Well, let's just get some crystal cards to wrap this up, please. What crystals do you have for this message? What crystals do you have for this message? Thank you. Okay. We have the labradorite, tiger's eye, and the amazonite. And this is what those three crystals look like, right? So labradorite is a crystal that helps to expand the mind. It assists you in your spiritual growth. Labradorite is one of those crystals that does this by calming any negative sides of your personality. And it helps you to think twice when it comes to impulsive behavior. So using labradorite when you're thinking about sexual arts could help you decide in a very calm, peaceful way. Is this something I really want to do? Do I really want to tie myself up to this person? Do I really want to create this energetic cord that is not going to be easily broken? Is that a legacy that I want to leave? Labradorite also is an incredible stone because it's linked to the third eye. And speaking of eye, that's the tiger's eye, which is also a very powerful stone when it's used in meditation for the third eye. It's funny that tiger's eye has eye in it and it looks like an eye sometimes. Oh, I don't have my tiger's eye out here today. Oh, actually, do I? No, that's not it. I didn't put tiger's eye out. But anyway, tiger's eye is a very high vibrational crystal in that it comes from the earth and the sun enhances its psychic abilities. So this is one of the crystals that's good to sit out in the sun to charge it after you've cleansed it and set the intentions for it. And so that's another thing. We started out with setting intentions. It's also good to set intentions for your crystals. Cleanse them and then set them out in the sun for some of them. Some of them do better in the moonlight. Either way, as long as you're charging them with your intentions, it makes them more powerful to assist you with magnifying and magnifying your energy. So Tiger's Eye is one that the sun enhances the psychic ability of. Tiger's Eye is also a very protective amulet. It's been used as a protective amulet for centuries. And it brings courage, and it energizes the spirit, and it balances out the chakras. Now, Amazonite is this pretty green aqua colored one. This one has to do with a lot of the electromagnetic frequencies that we all absorb today, because we're all carrying cell phones, we have microwaves in our house, we have 5G towers being built all around us. And so there's like this amplification of EMF, electromagnetic frequency. Carrying Amazonite and or wearing Amazonite and or sleeping with this crystal assist you with the electromagnetic frequencies in the air from the microwaves, the cell phones, and all of that. Amazonite helps you to filter out that pollution. It also could assist you with opening up the throat chakra and allow you to see and speak your truth without the static of everyday life and the energies all around you electromagnetically. Stifling that out, okay, drowning you out, okay. And so that's the end of our message. The last thing I'm going to do is grab some last minute messages from tarot, any guidance, any insight, or anything else that the divine wishes to come out. So what do you have for the collective as we're wrapping this up? Any more messages? Okay. Anything else? Last time, anything else for this message? Okay. And again, the Ace of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. So the first thing out we had was Judgment. And the Two of Wands, the Magician, and the Devil. So, only you is going to be the one that's judged for your choices, for the intentions that you set, for the way you use the tools that were given to you while you're here. You have plenty of tools. You have your mind that allows you to think, that allows you to alchemize and transmute energy, transform energy, allows you to transform and transmute the actions that you take. You have your emotions, the water inside of you that makes you aware of when something doesn't feel right for you, isn't in alignment for your soul. The world may tell you you need to have sex before you're married, but sometimes you know in your heart it didn't really feel good. You did it because all of your friends in high school had had sex and they were talking about it, and so you wanted to do it as well. And then you have all of these toxic ties connected to you after. Some of us, you know, they tell us the poly life is where it's at because why? Materially you can gain. We help pay each other's bills. But if you really look at it, does it really feel good? I mean, of course, physically, but spiritually. And is it worth it just to have material gain? I mean, why are you really deciding on the poly life? Have you thought about if it's not selfish? For selfish reasons? Sometimes just because you want to keep a person tied to you. Some people know what happens energetically when you have sex with them. And when you have sex with multiple people, those chains are freely to be taken off. But energetically, you're connected from the things you did in the dark. How do you bring life back into your spirit, into your soul, from the decisions and the choices we've made? And this is why a lot of times it's necessary to forgive yourself, because when you didn't know better, you couldn't do better. You couldn't make plans, set intentions to move a different way. You were programmed to think that sex was just something you do. It feels good, so I'm going to do it. Lots of things feel good. Eating sugar, sweets, and cookies all day feel damn good to me, but I know that's not one of the best things for me. Sitting around on a chair might feel good all day, but you know that exercise is a necessity, that you need to get up and move sometimes if you want to keep moving. Sex feels fabulous. But have you thought about energetically what occurs? What are you creating? Okay, I'm going to wrap this message up. You have a choice now. You can choose to move in a spirit of love where you're loving yourself because you know better, you're doing better, you're making plans and setting intentions to not do things that are going to cause you for 5 minutes of pleasure, whether that's eating something or putting something in your mouth. And this is me speaking for myself about certain things. They're just choices you're having to make. So it's not that I'm in judgment of anyone. I'm actually speaking from personal experience on a lot of things, because the only person I know is myself. The only person I can control is self. So you have to look in the mirror and look at that reflection and say to self, is this really good for me? Is this a choice I really want to make for me? And for some, you may feel like you're going to go through a dark night of the soul when you get your answers. But it will then allow you to set better intentions, to make better plans. Ones that bring life into you, life in your health, life in your words, life energetically and spiritually. Are you going to be in fear because of what they might say because you're celibate, or you decided to go back to being celibate? Or that you won't have sex with someone even after they've been courting you for a year, 3 months, 2 years? They want to have sex, but they don't want to put a ring on it? Are you going to be okay with not allowing the fear and the pressure to mount up to where you make a decision that doesn't feel good for you? Choice. The choice is yours. You could get with this, the divine calling you to look higher, to make higher plans, or you can get with that. Because you have the wand, you have the cup, your emotions, you have the sword, your mind and your thoughts for what you're creating for the pinnacles. So you can get with this or you can get with that. The choice is yours. That's been today's reading. I want to thank you for joining me, Tonae Star, here with Tonae Star Enterprises, where we stand on business, baby, for the divine, for self, in this material realm. This has been another voyage on the Enterprise. Thank you for joining me. Hope you had your seatbelt buckled, because, honey, we just went into warp speed and we hit multiple dimensions, multiple aspects of life. So remember to always shoot for the moon, and even if you miss, you are still amongst the stars. And to always, 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 always let your light shine bright. Thank you for joining me. And your likes, shares, and subscribes are always appreciated. Thank you.